Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider. So, if your Samsung dryer is showing that annoying 3C error code and just won't cooperate, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. Good news is, most of these fixes are totally doable at home and way cheaper than calling someone like me out. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group, links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. All right, so what's happening with this 3C code is you've got a communication breakdown between your control board and the motor. Sometimes the dryer just stops mid-cycle, sometimes it won't start at all, and sometimes this one's fun. It just keeps running and won't turn off. So the motor assembly is by far the biggest troublemaker here. I'm talking about 60% of all 3C errors. What's happening is the motor can't communicate properly with that control board, usually because the motor brushes are worn out or the bearings are shot. You'll know it's the motor when you hit start and hear this humming sound, but the drum just sits there like it's on strike. Sometimes the motor will start up fine, but then quit halfway through a cycle. I had this customer last month whose dryer would run for exactly 12 minutes and then throw the 3C code. Turned out the motor was overheating from bad bearings. Here's how you check it. Unplug the dryer first, safety first, people. Then open the door and try spinning that drum by hand. Should turn nice and smooth. If it's grinding or feels stiff, that motor's probably done for. Also, take a peek at the connections going to the motor. Sometimes they just work loose and cause all kinds of communication problems. Control board problems are the second most common cause, and boy, can they be weird. The main issue is usually a stuck motor relay right on that control board. You'll know this is your problem when the dryer starts running by itself or just won't shut off no matter what you do. I remember this lady called me in a panic because her dryer had been running for 3 hours straight. Turns out that motor start relay was stuck closed. Here's a neat trick that sometimes works. Unplug the dryer, pop off that control panel, and gently tap the motor start relay with the rubber end of a screwdriver. Don't ask me how I figured that one out, but I've saved customers hundreds of dollars with that little tap. If the error comes back after a day or two, though, you're looking at replacing the whole control board. These boards run anywhere from about 150 to 350 bucks, depending on your model. Sometimes this 3C error is just the dryer having a bad day. Seriously, power surges, voltage fluctuations, or just electronic gremlins can cause temporary communication hiccups. If you're lucky, this accounts for about 15% of cases. The fix is embarrassingly simple. Unplug that dryer for 5 to 10 minutes, then plug it back in. I can't tell you how many times I've driven out to someone's house just to unplug their dryer and plug it back in. While you've got it unplugged, take a look at all the wire connections, especially around the motor area. Look for any green corrosion on the terminals or wires that look chewed up. These connections can work loose over time from all that vibration, and a loose connection looks exactly like a major motor failure to that control board. Now, I'm going to walk you through the three main culprits behind this 3C error, starting with the most common problem I see. We're talking about motor issues, control board problems, and some simple wiring stuff that can actually be fixed in minutes. Here's the thing. About 60% of these cases are going to be motor related, 25% are control board issues, and the rest is usually just loose connections or temporary glitches that'll make you feel pretty silly once you fix them. The motor assembly is going to be your biggest expense if it's actually failed. But here's the thing. I don't see specific pricing in my notes for Samsung dryer motors, so you're probably looking at anywhere from 150 to 300 bucks depending on your model. The motor itself is buried pretty deep in there. You've got to pull the top off, disconnect the drum belt, and work around the blower wheel. It's doable for someone who's handy, but it's definitely a 4 hour project if you've never done it before. For dryers that are more than 8 or 10 years old, a motor replacement might not make financial sense, but if you've got a newer unit, absolutely worth fixing. The control board is where things get expensive fast. You're looking at anywhere from 150 to about 350 for a replacement board, and that's just the part. The good news is they're usually pretty easy to swap out, just behind that control panel, held in with a few screws and some wire connectors. I always tell customers to take a picture of the wire connections before you disconnect anything. These boards are definitely worth replacing if your dryer is less than 5 years old, but if it's an older unit, you might want to start shopping for a new dryer instead. Now, here's something interesting. Sometimes a blown thermal fuse can make the 3C error show up along with other problems. These little fuses are cheap, we're talking 25 to 60 bucks, and they're located on the blower housing. If your dryer won't start at all and you're seeing the 3C code, definitely check this fuse first before you start tearing into motors and control boards. Super easy replacement, takes about 10 minutes. You can see right there on the screen the Samsung dryer models that run into this 3C error most often. Take a look, you might spot your own model number up there. From what I've seen, this problem really started showing up in the Samsung dryers made from about 2015 onward. The DV4J series, DV42H series, and some of the newer DVE models seem to be the biggest troublemakers. But don't worry about memorizing all those numbers. If you've got a Samsung dryer throwing a 3C code, the fixes we just covered are going to work regardless of your specific model. That's how you tackle the Samsung 3C error code. Start with that simple power reset. Unplug for 10 minutes and see if it clears. If not, check your motor connections and give that control board relay a gentle tap. Most of the time, one of these fixes will get you back up and running. The motor assembly accounts for most of these problems, so don't panic if the simple fixes don't work. It might just need a new motor. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances, sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. If this helped you get your Samsung dryer working again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.